Cryptography is a method of securing information and communication through the use of codes, so that it can only be read and interpreted by those for which the code is intended for. A cipher is an algorithm for the encryption and decryption of a sequence with well-defined steps that can be followed as a procedure in cryptography. With Caesar cipher and the decimation cipher being the two that we discussed, today we'll be showing you our version of a cipher algorithm.
In 1874, Remington and Sons manufactured the first commercial typewriter called the Remington No. 1. A typewriter was then designed by Christopher Sholes and used the Qwerty keyboard that we are all familiar with. Now, Sholes' original prototype had a problem with the bars colliding with each other and jamming. So the story goes that he arranged all the keys, the most common letters, in hard-to-reach spots to slow typists down and to avoid this problem. So our group has come up with an idea based from what we use every day. It is as simple as looking at our phones and laptop or desktop keyboards. Now, in order to convert a message into a code or the other way around, we will be using the format of the Qwerty keyboard. So for us to encipher a message, in the table that you will be seeing, we have represented each letter in the keyboard with the correct order of the alphabet. So we started in the upper left, which is letter Q, which will be represented by letter A, and we will follow a direction to the right, which basically means after Q is letter W, which will be represented by letter B, and so on. Note, we always start from the left, so basically after letter P, which will be represented by letter J, the next letter in the Qwerty keyboard will be letter A, which will be represented by letter K.
A math teacher decided to challenge his students by giving them a message which they need to decode, which they will be needing for the math exam. The decoded message will be the access code in order for them to enter and take the examination. The teacher also gave them a hint, which was to check the keyboard of your phone and the keyboard of your laptop or computer. Find the correlation between the order of letters in the two devices and the alphabet. The message that the students have to decode is DQZI OLZIT WTLZ. With the hint given by the teacher, which is to use the order of letters on the keyboard of your laptop or phone to correspond to the letters of the alphabet, the students will be able to decode the message. Meaning, you must represent each letter in the keyboard with the correct order of the alphabet. An important thing to take note is that you must start from the upper left letter of the keyboard, which is the letter Q. In order to decode DQZI OLZIT WTLZ, we must look for the corresponding letters on the table above. As you can see, D corresponds to the letter M, Q to the letter A, Z to the letter T, and I to letter H, which forms the word math. Next is O corresponds to letter I, and L corresponds to letter S, which forms the word is. Next is letter Z corresponds to letter T, I represents letter H, and T represents letter E, which makes the word the. Next is W corresponds to the letter B, T represents E, L represents S, and Z represents T, which forms the word best. So to put this together, this forms the sentence, math is the best.
To be able to encode the happiest year of my life, we have to find the corresponding letters from the phrase from the table above. Find each letter from the phrase in the table, which are the letters in black. To form the code, after we found the letters in black from the table, list the letters above it. From the Qwerty keyboard, the letters in red until you finish the whole phrase. So, the encoded message would be IQHHOTLZ NTQK GY DN SOYT.
In order to decode ZZQFR DNYKOTFRL, we just need to look for the letters in the table given. So, D matches to M, T matches to E, Q to A, F to N, R to D, D to M, N to Y to F, K to R, O to I, T to E, F to N, R to D, and lastly L to S.
And so with the explanation of how the Qwerty cipher works, and the three examples, the first one being math is the best, and the second example being the happiest year of my life, and the third one, me and my friends, where we demonstrated how to encrypt and decrypt the code. So I hope you were able to understand our cipher algorithm through this video. That is all, and thank you for watching.